How's it going, fellas? Today I'm going to be showing you my starter squad for FIFA 21 Ultimate Team. I'll walk you through what formation I played, what players I used, and especially what tactics I used, because honestly this team shredded anyone I played. The pace up top, the classy midfield players, and the absolute rocks at the back with a good keeper as well. It is an amazing squad, and honestly I cannot see myself changing it anytime soon. So I strongly advise you guys to use it, especially now at the start. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. And I'm just going to jump straight into the video, so enjoy. Okay, we'll get straight into building this absolutely wonderful squad. In-game, it will be playing as a 4-1-2-1-2 second variation, also known as a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, with centre mids instead of right and left mid. And so far this has been my favourite formation, but in order to allow us to get full chemistry we will be going with the 4-4-2. In goal, as you can see, we're starting with Bernd Leno, the Arsenal #1, and he's just been solid, not too expensive, and he's just got some great overall stats and just been a class keeper for this team. Next, we're moving on to right back, where we see his Arsenal teammate Hector Bellerin, who has just provided us with the pace that we need at the right back position. He's great for when we're going forward, giving us those overlapping runs, and also just solid tracking back. Next, we've got the centre back duo, and these boys, Nicolas Soule and Boateng. I was a bit worried that their pace wouldn't be good enough this year, with pace being such a big thing yet again, but oh my days was I wrong. I put a shadow on them to kind of try counter the issue of pace, but I honestly don't even think they need it. These two boys were rock solid, as you'll see in the clips, and I think it's just because of their great defending and physical stats that they're just able to boss any attackers making runs in behind, and they're able to read the runs and passes of other players, which I think might be the better way to counter the pace this year, rather than trying to match it with pace, is to have smart defenders that just do what they're supposed to do. And as you can see from these clips, a lot of the games I had no worries with just pushing the players aside with people trying to choose the pacey and smaller strikers, and it was honestly a joy to defend with these lads, especially with Bellerin and this left back Patrick van Aanholt by their sides. Really similar to Hector Bellerin, really pacey fullback with some decent passing and dribbling to help this team both with his overlaps going forward and defending, and just making this team's defense really solid overall, with pace on the flanks and solid in the middle. On the right mid, we've got Nicolas Pepe, and what a player this lad was for this team. Nicolas Pepe played in the cam in this 4-1-2-1-2, and it just worked wonders. His pace and dribbling just allowed him to create chance after chance, and ended up being the top goal scorer and top assister for this team. And as you can see from the clips, well, they speak for themselves. He was an absolute god, just making runs in behind, dribbling past defenders, making them look silly. And this clip especially, pull back, get him on his left, and it's a goal. Top bins every time, I guarantee it. Next, we'll be looking at his national teammate Wilfried Zaha, and very similar to Pepe, very good player with some astonishing pace, great dribbling, and some solid finishing as well to go along with this wonderful card. Zaha played as the left striker in the 4-1-2-1-2, and yet again these clips speak for themselves. His dribbling, his skills was just such a joy to use and allowed this team to just flourish. In this clip, you see him picking the ball up at halfway line, just turning defenders inside out, making this wonderful run. One fake shot sends the player the wrong way and is unlucky to hit the crossbar in the 90th minute. Yet again, in the box, no one wants to touch him, and it's just an easy goal bottom right with some class finishing. Here we go once again, good dribbling, good pace to get an easy assist, which will be finished later on in this video. Next, we move on to the centre mid pairing, and I am willing to put money on that I will not be using a lot of other centre mids than these two. These two Austrian little buddies were absolute powerhouses for this team. sweeping up everything in the midfield and was solid going forward as well. Sabitzer, stats speak for themselves, almost everything over 80, and that strength is definitely a lot higher than 76. Absolute rock. And Limer, he's a cheat code, 85 pace and 80 defending for a CDM. He was just clearing up in that midfield. And to partner those two Austrian buddies is Thiago, the more attacking option in this midfield, with some wonderful passing, just like he's got in real life, and amazing dribbling to just allow us to control the game from the midfield. These three were composed and had the stamina to run around all game and just dominate all our opponents, and it was such a joy to use in front of the defense that we had. Final player in this team playing out of position is the beast Adama Traore, who happens to be in the team because Rodrigo is extinct, but boy am I happy that he is, because Adama Traore is a god. He is going to be a nightmare for everyone in FIFA 21. First of all, to get your hands on him now when he's so rare, because everyone wants him, and second of all, if you're playing against him, you are going to want to quit. This man has got the pace to beat anyone on the pitch, and then his strength just holds everyone off. Cheeky Rabona here against this lad, and I'm telling you, this is what most people are going to want to do. Pause and rage quit. This man is so good. I cannot tell you guys how good he is. Says he's got 2-star weak foot. That doesn't look like it to me. Yet again, his shooting statistically isn't the best, but he was finishing left, right and centre and just making all the best runs in behind. Bye defenders. Cheeky chip over David De Gea, and is so unlucky to not finish that. Overall, this team is just so good and overpowered, and I can't see myself needing to change the team anytime soon. This team is definitely weekend league ready, but like I said, this team does not play in a 4-4-2. It is the 4-1-2-1-2, and I will now show you the tactics and instructions I give to the players. Defensively, I have press after possession loss and a relatively low width and depth to make sure I don't get penetrated by balls in behind. Going forward, I've got possession just to hold on to that ball with some security, especially when you go 1 or 2-0 up. And just to finish it off, relatively high numbers of players in the box. Now looking at the instructions, it's important to have the strikers on balance width, get in behind and to stay forward. You don't need them to track back. Just like the cam, you leave him on stay forward and add aggressive interceptions. When it comes to the left and right central midfielders, you want balanced attack, balanced crossing runs, aggressive interceptions, stick to position and cover wing. Now, the most important part in all of this is that your CDM is dropped between defenders and cover centre. This makes him drop back into a centre back position when your team is pushing forward, meaning your opposition is going to have a really hard time to counter attack when you've got 3 centre backs, when your right and left back are bombing up to create that width in the pitch. As you can see in the instructions for the fullbacks, they both got to join the attack and to overlap. This allows for them to almost play as wingers in this formation, so that when you're going forward, you're almost playing in a 3-2-1-4. And honestly, that's what makes this team so good, with the fullbacks running up, creating width, and having those 2 strikers and that cam just tearing teams apart, whilst being secure that you've got your 2 solid centre backs back and your CDM almost dropping back into a 3rd centre back, meaning that conceding counter attacks is not going to happen as much as you'd think. There you have it, boys. That's the squad builder. That's the team I've been using, and I do strongly advise you to use it as well, because this team tears everyone apart. Please do make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.